This is MILAN LUCIC, and you're listening to Missin Curfew.
What's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media in Newport Beach, this is Missin Curfew. We got the Updog, Swishy, but before we start snapping around, let's not forget, this show is always presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Updog, Swishy, boys, it was fun Tuesday to snap around with you. How we doing?
Yeah, doing good, Obes. Sad day yesterday for many reasons, but nice to be in the studio with you guys. I thought our first episode was good. A couple shaky sentences put together by myself. I happened to listen to it, but it's good to be back in here with you.
A couple shaky sentences.
I know we're aligned when we show up with yellow tarps on, but
yeah,
both of us.
That's
nice.
nice.
I don't have many yellow shirts.
That's a nice little button down you got over.
Yeah, I went with the Eddie Vedder.
I saw you walking in the parking lot. Swishy, I pulled in. Uppy beat me to the studio today. He's walking in with the buttons, up, undone, walking. I'm like, look who's ready to rock.
Yeah, ready to
He's ready to go, Swish.
Swishy, how you doing, buddy?
That's the I'm good, boys. That's the classic Updog special right there, though. He looks like he's just about to go rock out, pull out the acoustic, and just start strumming it. But I'm good. First episode was good. It's good being back with you boys. Yeah, fired up for the season. It's good. We got a nice little episode today.
I got to give some love here while we're talking about the first The Boys Are Back in Town episode. Shout out to the production squad of Max, the Ice Pick Pickup, the YouTube channel. He went triple screens, so Updog, Swishy, Obes, which right away makes me look skinnier, right? Anytime you can shrink my screen and make it more vertical.
In your head.
Yeah.
Everything.
So right away, check one for me. I'm like, got a boy Ice Pick. Then we could see all three of us, see our reactions, right?
Right there the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time.
Yeah,
and then sometimes he would pan off. Like if you were really diving into, if I was diving into washing my hands or not washing my hands, he really zoomed in. But right there.
Yeah, if you're getting ready to muck some barn, then
so he did that where we can see all of us, Swishy in the middle, and then I love how he's got the Missin Curfew coming down the pipe there. Like that's just a little detail, Swishy, but that's NHL.
That he's been training in the off season.
I was wondering what he was doing.
You don't have to question this guy Ice Pick coming back for the season if he's ready to rock and roll.
He was in Nantucket having beers and eating ice cream.
And by the way, Kyle Conway back there with the YouTube, geez, as we're thinking it's already up on the TV.
KC is getting quick with the trigger back there. Yeah. So Ice Pick, good job. And I want to give some love to the newest resident of Medicine Hat, Alberta. So you were always asking where Princey was. They switched. You're like, what's going on with Princey?
Mark Prince.
He was
a little MIA.
He was moving all summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
He moved out of his basement. I thought we'd never see, we see him on the Fella Tour, but never the light of day up from his basement. He's down there clipping, watching some fucking games. And he took it to the hat. He took his experiences and his talents to Medicine Hat, folks.
So the pride of Airdrie, Alberta is now in Medicine Hat. That is confirmed?
That is confirmed.
Wow.
He's a year late, though, because the kid already went to Penn State. I told him you're a year late, bud.
What are
you going to do there? Yeah, the kid. The fuck.
Is Willie Desjardins still the coach there in Med Hat? Because
I think he was there last year, right? Duster, did he ever coach you in Van? He was shortly thereafter you left.
He was there after me, but I played against him. He might have been coaching in the minors in Austin or something.
Yes, he was in the Texas Stars.
I was down the Junkie.
Good Dusty.
Really good Duster. Look at him. Yeah, he's still coaching, general manager and head coach. What does a general manager head coach make in the CHL ups? 500?
No, fuck.
150, 200?
150, 200.
Just split duels, GM and head coach, $150 Canadian?
Yeah.
That's probably
40-50 American.
Yeah. You get the double name tag. You got to do some deals and you got to get out there for practice.
And Swishy, you got to ride that iron lung all the way across Western Canada.
Yep. And you got to submit the Tim Hortons, whatever the boys are needed for, pregame or postgame. You got to be talking to the team service guy, making trades, getting hotels. Yeah, it's the Kelly McCrimmon special. He did that in Brandon for years.
I don't know this, but you probably get the house and the car, and you're not spending a dime when you're there. Kids are looked after. You get some per diem.
You're getting a GMC Ford fucking truck. I mean, a GMC pickup truck or something, right?
Yeah, they don't fire you in some old billet house.
I remember at the old Rexel Energy Center there. What was it called? Rexel Place or in Edmonton?
It was Northlands originally, but then it became Rexall Place. Yeah, Northlands Coliseum.
Northlands with Gretzky and Coco were out there assassin around it. I was playing in Tampa, and I just, you come into Tampa and Anaheim, Swishy, all our cars, right? Solani had every car you could think of, Vinny and Richie and Marty in Tampa, and then we pull into Edmonton, and it's just a line of Ford trucks covered in snow and salt and shit, and I'm just looking at their parking lot going, I don't care if it's a free truck or not. That's gotta suck. Yeah, getting in and out of that after a match, you're like, oh,
at least it's not your truck getting beat up, though.
That's true. That's true.
While we're on the topic of hockey, because it's around the corner, I happened to tune in last night as the kids were going to bed, and NHL Network. I mean, it's probably the best content I've seen them do in a long time, but they're playing some old fucking Stanley Cup games, and I happened to watch, I think it's 2015, Kings, Rangers, Game 5 in LA, Hank versus Quick, the saves Quick was making, but I knew the cup was coming out, so I made Beckham stay up. And I'm just like,
you're not going to bed, Beckham. The cup's coming.
Content NHL Network puts on all year is these old Stanley Cup games sped up. So a lot of the highlights, no intermissions, no whistles, and it's just the action. So it was great. It was good to just kind of get the mojo going.
How more physical did it look on TV compared to nowadays? Did you notice the physicality, like being way up?
They gave Kyle Clifford a penalty in double overtime for hitting Dorsett in front of the bench, semi from behind. Dorsett kind of went down a little. I was shocked that in Game 5, double overtime, you throw a guy in the box. Now, they were up 3-1 in the series, so I can get it. Politically, maybe get them,
let's get this back to New York.
Back to New York for Game 6. Now, LA stuck with it. Fucking Jonathan Quick, man. It was Justin Williams' Conn Smythe year, but Jonathan Quick could have won another one. He was spectacular. So anyway, fun to watch hockey, and anytime your kids can watch the Stanley Cup given out, it's maybe like a lasting memory for them.
Yeah, no, listen, anytime when I was a kid and first saw the Stanley Cup, much like you probably switched, it's like, wow, look at that. I would like to win that someday. Listen, if I had some corrective criticism for NHL Network, first of all, I don't think it's been the same since Jackie's left. She was a real big asset to the network, I thought. But second, can we get it on YouTube TV?
Yeah.
Why is it not, Swishy, why is it not on YouTube TV, you don't think?
I don't know. It's got to be something with the TV rights. It's got to be something with the station, the network in general, probably affiliated a little bit with the NHL. Now, listen, I don't know the legal side of that, but that's a good idea. I want to get back to that game quick, though. Is that the game that Alec Martinez scored the G-dub?
Sure is.
Hank fucking spit that one. Is that not every defenseman's dream, Swishy, that you join the rush in your time of the Stanley Cup final and the goalie kicks it out like that, and you're looking at a 4x6. I remember when I saw the highlights, I think we were golfing or something. I missed the game, and I saw the highlight, and I was like, oh, what I would give a Swishy as a D-man for that to kick it, or anyone, forward, whatever, just kick it out like that to you.
How nice is that, too? It's that short side one-timer. It's just right on a tee for you. Oh,
anybody could, I don't want to take anything away from Alex Martinez, but a lot of people could bury that one.
Yeah.
Because it's right there. It's just like, boom.
Pierre McGuire was asked some questions after the game, and Alec Martinez, he had such it was a very intellectual response and just giving credit to the team and like the play. And he was so fucking high on just like, what the hell just happened? It was pretty cool. Because not a fucking Stanley Cup overtime winner, win like
in LA,
in LA for the
fucking
second
back up the Sprinter van to the fucking Staples Center. Let's go, boys. Where we going?
So bang on with his answers. It was just like, you're like, fuck. I felt like, you felt like you were there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember watching that game as a young fella, just thinking, my God, just like you said, Obes, every defenseman's dream. Too bad Richie Babe wasn't on that squad. I think he was gone by then. That was the second year they won it.
Yeah, he was out in Vancouver. Rewind that.
Yeah, he was.
Tyler Toffoli, far pad, what a shot. Boom, kicks out. How are you? Bing.
Bing.
Yeah. Great Sully. Fucking
look at that barn. I'll tell you what, Swishy, you bring up Pierre McGuire. I used to, I always loved Pierre. He was great to me. Anytime he did our games, I would always go up and talk to him. Bumped into him in Vegas when we went there for Loopses, when Loops was up for the Masterton. Like, Pierre was pretty good at what he did, actually. Like, now that we talk about, ESPN and TNT doing their thing, like Pierre McGuire.
He was colorful color.
Yeah, he brought some energy night in and night out.
Yeah, he was.
Like, maybe they should get Pierre back on the blower and say, hey, Pierre, come on. Well, ESPN, give him a chance, baby.
Like, sometimes you need to freshen it up a bit. And maybe it's time for a little freshen up, because I think the guys have done a good job. TNT's great. Panger's fucking awesome.
Panger's great. Panger's energy.
But, Pierre kind of, you'd always mention hometowns, that. Like, you'd always be like the pride of Port Hope, Ontario, Shane O'Brien. You know, he'd always have little like kind of things from your past, which was cool. But I guess into the US, they wanted just a fresh voice. When NBC didn't get it anymore, it was more, let's build a new team. So
yeah, I think Swishy, I would turn over to you. I listen, I love Pierre. I thought when NBC was coming down to their last season, like Uppy said, I thought he was getting a little stale, and I was kind of almost getting over Pierre. But now looking back, and I haven't thought about him, no disrespect to Pierre, till Uppy just brought him up, like, maybe you think about bringing a guy like that back on a midterm or a part-time basis, Swishy, you know what I mean? Because he did bring the energy.
I think he's perfectly suited in between the glass. Like, that's where Pierre Maguire thrives. It's somewhere between a color guy, a play-by-play guy, and then you throw Pierre Maguire in the mix because he, like Uppy said, he has those little nuggets that nobody else knows, those little small facts about just different quirks of the games and the way he can go down different avenues of where guys are from. Talk about a trainer, talk about an assistant coach, a former player that he had worked with prior to his. I mean, Pierre Maguire was like a 30-year-old head coach in Hartford. People forget that. Back in the day, he was a head coach at a really young age, coached the likes of Chris Pronger, Michael Nylander. So different guys like that. I just think Pierre is an encyclopedia of hockey, and I like him, man. I think he should be back in the mix.
Good handshake on Pierre Maguire, too. Yeah. Good handshake. Remember we saw him in Ireland?
Yeah, in Ireland.
We show up, we fly over fucking Air Quinn, Swishy. We get to Port Monarch, and we're in the pro shop, aren't we? Or fucking, I want to check in. And there he is, Pierre Maguire.
It was his boy's 30th birthday or something, or maybe 20th, and he was there, teeing it up with him and his daughter and his wife.
Good handshake.
Good handshake.
Fucking, you put hand.
Yeah, good handshake, and also a really proper bald head. Like, I think he put sex wax on that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice and shiny. It's a nice bald head. Yeah.
You only get your balls that shiny.
Yeah.
What kind of Bic razor you need to get them that shiny?
You don't bic on balls. See it? You ever bicked your balls, though?
Oh, yeah.
Back in your prime, man.
No, even right now, just keep them in the shower. You got to go the quadruple razor, though. You don't want to fuck with those double razors.
No, but...
Oh, you cut yourself up bad.
So you use like a bic on your ball sack?
Yeah.
Wow, I just do electric.
Stretch them out a bit and just get in there. You can't just go with wrinkle it. You got to stretch the ball.
Put your leg up.
Get the ball. Yeah, for sure.
Swishy, do you bic your balls or do you just go electric razor?
Yeah, this is a ball shaving show now, but I definitely bic it. You have to, because otherwise you can get those like U.S. Open like rough underneath your gooch, and you just gotta trim it up, fella. Yeah, I don't trust the electric. I'd rather do it with my hands.
Me too. That electric can come in hot and heavy and just clip you and take a nice chunk out.
Not nowadays.
They're one of those divots you hit off a tee with your
sleep divots. I went through 2.5 balls of sand yesterday. I was fucking coming steep at her.
I've seen it before.
No, but I mean, you got these like, shout out to Manscaped is what I use, but like you just get down there. It's cut resistant.
Yeah, sometimes until it's
cut resistant.
No, it is cut resistant.
You got one of those neck guards on that are on your shaft. Just
to say, what do you got over there? What's Peeler selling us something? What do you got?
I'm using like one of those like shitty Bic razors they get in the visit.
No, you use like Mach 7.
Gillette 7 fucking razor blades.
7 razor, and it's got the gel on the beginning of it. So as it's going down, it's gel. It leaves a little gel mark there.
What do you
put? Aloe.
What are you putting on the ball sack after? You must have a nice aftershave, something to put on there. Is it not a little raw after? You're just...
No, it's a frat.
I've seen you stick hill half full.
With that pizza shovel. Well, I'm working with something better than pizza shovel now. I got a little toe curve on this razor, so I control puck control all day long.
Yeah. Listen, I got to be honest. I don't think, even in my prime, I had to worry about the undercarriage so much,
And you can really get under there with one of those. Add an extension to this. Frosty, can I get an extension there? And you put the extension on so you can get right under there.
All right. So maybe I respect you guys doing that. I guess I'm maybe a little lazy.
I think, no, it's old school, but you got to stick with it.
Let's all be honest with you.
Like, if it doesn't work.
When it comes to even, manscaping down there on a regular basis, I've really let it slide. Like it's got to get to the point where I'm in the mirror. I'm like, God, that's gross.
Makes you feel better when you shave it up, though.
Yeah, it gives you another inch too.
Yeah.
Right? You shave it up, Swishy. You look down. You're like, that's not bad. I can work with that.
Fluff it up. Yeah, not bad.
Hey, give it a little fluff.
Give it a hell of a fluff. A couple fluffs.
I remember every new team I went to, I would give it a fluff before my first shower with the boys. You don't want to set the tone early. Give it a fluff. Hey,
this topic all came about because of that nice shaved head there. Pierre Maguire.
And then as the season goes on, they're like, "Oh, Brian fluffed it up early in the season."
Do you think like a guy like Tox uses the same razor on his head that he does on his balls, or?
Do you use the same razor on your balls as you do on your face?
Like, no, or your head. When you're a guy that like keeps a nice tight bucket up there.
I think the real Rocket Talkin has a different shaver for his lid than he does his ball sack. But
would you keep the same razor for your chin as you do for nuts? I
have two different electrical razors.
You put a little tape around it.
I have a face one, and then I have the Manscaped that Casey just had up there for my balls.
It's like your practice twig and your game twig.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You don't want to fuck with balls.
No, you can't fuck. Yeah, fuck with balls. So, anyways, boys, hey, one last thing I got off topic there, but shout out to Mark Prince, obviously, too. He's done a real nice job with our new clips, stacked them up. So it's nice to see the boys at the production squad have taken the offseason, much like Swiss. Swiss was the hardest working guy in the offseason, but the production team, I wasn't doing fuck all. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't
fucking taking care of kids, babysitting. God damn it.
Moving on here in our little intro, I was going to go back to the washing the hands thing, but I think I'm just going to move on. I don't think people care or want to hear about that. But anyways, here, shout out to our boy, Roger Hardy from Kits Eyewear. I had a nice breakfast with him yesterday. Kits has been so great to us. If you don't have a pair of their shades or their prescription shades or glasses, get in the game, fellas. But anyways, he was down here for a tournament. I go meet him for breakfast, and I know you guys are big tennis players. I'm telling you what, he looked like he just walked out of the U.S. Open. He had the fucking zip-up thing with the sponsor and the penguin.
Is it headband, or did he have the wristbands, or did he have that on yet?
Well, he hadn't had that on yet.
That's usually what you put on right before you get out on the court.
He had a sick pair of Louis Vuitton white shoes.
Oh, wow.
He wasn't going to play in. He's just
good
wearing
ankle support?
Yeah,
you don't want to play in those.
And he's a first bus guy. He 10:30 match. He was getting over there like 9 o'clock, 9:30. It's first bus.
He's fucking old legs. You got to warm him up.
So, Swishy, you guys will appreciate this. He played a 3-hour match. His text was funny. He's like, what do you guys put in the water here? I show up, this guy's 30 years old. His skin looks like he's 20, and I'm like, hey, Newport Beach, buddy, that's how we do it.
He's like, I don't think guys work down here.
Yeah.
They just they work out, and they take care of their bodies, and they hit forehands.
Yeah, he played a 3-hour match, Swishy, and lost a heartbreaker. But, I mean, I guess if you're playing a 3-hour legit tennis match, that's pretty impressive.
Singles?
So
they're probably playing best of 3, right? They're not playing a 5-set banger. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's probably with the distance then. How old is this guy? Is he an older fella?
So he played 3 hours and 1 minute. His distance traveled, a good Canadian. He's got in kilometers here, right? 8 kilometers pretty much. Average heart rate was 144, and he burned 2,000 calories.
Wow. That's a good match. Can he play?
It's a lot of good rallies.
He plays, man. If he came down here for a tournament in Newport Beach, he can play.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool to rally with him. Maybe if we slide up to Chincouver.
Yeah.
Like Schmaltzy, like a guy like you and me, like,
yes,
we're like, C plus B minor.
Yep. We're okay.
How long would us take 3 sets? Like 2 hours, probably, right? Hour and a half?
If me and you were sliding it?
Yeah, like we're not hitting like, minute and a half rallies, are we, from the baseline? Or, I mean, I'm getting pretty good, but.
You are pretty good. You got a good forefand, and your backhand's actually pretty good too.
My backhand's what's mint, because I'm a lefty. And I go double backhand. When I go onto my forehand, it's foreign to me. It's fucking not perfect.
Yeah. But your backhand is good. I think the only thing that would hold us ups is the serving. Like if we're just hammering second serves, that would be the only time we're really taking a break. So yeah, I would say hour and a half, 2 hours, probably hour and a half. We could get it done in.
Yeah, I throw a little spin on my second serve. Serving's not a problem in my game. When we go play Flowers, he can't fucking serve. It's a boring game because it's just
serving's hard, man. Serving's the most, like, I guess you would say, like with golf, maybe putting or driver is the most frustrating thing. Shipping, paging Dr. Chichimsky. Hey, I think the serve is the hardest part. I can't serve.
Yeah,
like it's frustrating.
No, it is. You got to have a little bit of a. There's some tech to it.
Yeah. How nice is it when you're watching the big boys at the U.S. Open when they go full on for their first serve, and then that second serve they just fucking comes in
nasty.
But shout out to Roger, man, good effort. To play tennis for 3 hours is impressive to me. But
did he win?
No, he lost a heartbreaker.
Back your shit.
As soon as I saw him at breakfast, I was like, this is
that why he's taking off early, because he didn't get past the first match? Because I thought we were going to have him for dinner tomorrow night.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I think he's got to get back.
Does he?
Yeah. His wife's not here. I think probably the old lady. You know how that works, right?
Oh, for sure.
That's why you're always on the 4:58 flight off of Fella Tour. Up, dog, what's your flight? How's your flight tomorrow? 4:17. I got to go, boys. I got to get back for the kids. I'm like, well, it's 2:18 right now. So you better get going.
You know me, I'd extend that stay as much as I can. But just get home early in the morning, but maybe push it one more day, 2, maybe.
Well, one of the most legendary things you did this offseason was when you went Gaza Ranch right into the Bel Air member guest. as a father of 3.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's not many fathers of 3 that are pulling that off.
5 dare.
Yeah.
5 straight.
5 days.
It was a 5-day ripper, actually, too. Like, I was, hammering Baileys and coffee in the morning with the boys and then going straight to the tequilas, golf, on the beach. And fuck, it was just great. And then what a tournament, by the way. Shout out to Teddy.
Yeah, that was just impressive that you pulled that off. I was like, this is next level. So last but not least here, boys, I got Canelo versus Crawford this weekend. Thank you to my boy Tom Riley, T-Rex. Flowers weasel his way in because Billy Quinn can't make it. But it's at Vegas Stadium. What's that stadium called?
It's in the fight.
Allegiant Stadium.
Allegiant Stadium.
It's on Coldplay. It's great.
Yeah. This is the fight of the decade, boys. Crawford is 41-0. Canelo is 63-2-2 or something. Yeah. And listen, boys, both of them in their whole career, that's a lot of fights. That's over 100 pro fights for both of them. Neither one of them have ever been knocked down.
Knocked down.
Never been knocked down.
So they just got fucking cement heads.
Yeah. And I would say to you boys, this is why I wanted to talk to you about this. Like, even if you're not, like, I know you're not a huge fight guy, and I don't know if you are either, Swishy, but like to go into a fight like this, the energy in the building when you walk in, boys, it's something that's just fucking, it's insane. And obviously there's tons of celebs around, but you walk in and there's this buzz that I went to the Stanley Cup Game 7 with you. Like, that was cool. But I would say this to me, you will not get a better buzz than a big time. Like, this is 2 of the best guys on the planet right now about to go in there and fucking go toe to toe, and it's going to be unbelievable.
Like, we caught Pacquiao Mayweather, right?
Yeah.
And that's probably, that's right up there.
That was the fight of the decade then.
That was, right?
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Mayweather waited to get Pacquiao when he got a little bit longer.
I know. Do you think there's any chance that this is rigged? Is there any chance on God's green earth that the boxing is still a little corrupt where, like,
Well, listen, there's some rumors swirling right now that Crawford had shoulder surgery about a year ago or 2 years ago, whatever it was. And there's some rumors swirling that he re-aggravated in his training camp. I think that's just people in Vegas trying to move the line towards
fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Right? So I'm going to take Crawford. I think Crawford beats him on points.
But Canelo's such a Raider looks like that, it's going to be black for sure, right? For Raider style, it's black and white and like sick, right? Yeah.
Canelo doesn't get touched, though, does he?
Canelo doesn't get touched. He's got a really nice high guard, as you can see there. His shoulder is like National League beyond national.
His chin is tucked.
His chin is tucked, as you would say, and he's got power. But what he hasn't is, listen, is Crawford can throw left and rights. Listen, Crawford started as orthodox, and halfway through his career, he switched to a southpaw. So his left and right was what I'm saying, Swishy, is just as powerful. They're both just as powerful. But,
good chin, fucks hard, throws both.
Yeah, from Omaha, Nebraska.
What a town. What a town. Little Counting Crows, Omaha. That's a tune.
You talk about a place you got to keep your chin tucked, is Omaha, Nebraska.
That is granite chins and grass-fed beef. That's in that order.
Be on DAZN. Or what
Netflix.
Oh, it's going to be on Netflix.
Promoted by none other than Dana White.
Fucking right. Good for this. Yeah, this is
so they're gonna put what? How many people in that stadium? Probably 80,000, 90. Like, what does it hold for football? And then you got to probably put another
25,
20 in there. Yeah, I was gonna say 20 with the ring.
Think about how big the field is. That's all good.
It's huge.
You think they can? Yeah, but then.
So this is Mexican Independence Day. There's going to be a lot of Viva la Mexico there.
I'm interested to see how that a small boxing ring, how the seats on the field are going to be.
I'm not going to have to worry about this because my boy T-Rex is a beauty. But I would say, from a guy that goes to a lot of fights, the farther you go back on the floor is not good.
No shit.
You're not going to be able to see much.
Like if it's at the 50-yard line and you have to go to the 10-yard line on either side, you can't see shit.
You're better off going up.
Yeah.
To if you're not,
you can watch the jumbotron.
What's a jumbotron?
Yeah.
I'm going to be fucking. Boys. I'm so fired up. So I got Crawford on points. But you boys, hopefully one day we can all do this together. But going to a big fight like this is unbelievable. So thank you, T-Rex. Boys, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. DraftKings bets, and more bets. Presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Updog. Hey, Swishy, are you playing any fantasy or no?
No, I do real sports. No, stay away.
I don't want to be the best. I don't want to be the best at exercising.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fantasy guy.
Okay, well, real quick, we're just going to touch on this. Updog, I got Flowers this weekend. I'm projected to lose. I had a good week on the waiver wire. I picked up Chris Kirk, who is questionable to play, but he's a legit receiver if he does get healthy. And I picked up a running back that I needed. So, who you got?
I got Half Chub.
Who is Half Chub?
That's Shenner.
Are you projecting
Right
to win?
now, I got a 52% chance to win. He's got Hurts at KC, McCaffrey. He's got Harrison Jr. He's got not a bad team. But I got Josh Allen going into the Jets. They are -6. I think they win by 13. So I'm going to fucking... The Josh Allen's going to get me 30-plus points again. Jamar Chase is vs. Jacksonville. That's my stud. Expect that to be a high-scoring game. So I'm getting back in the saddle, baby. I'm 1-0, and I'm looking to go 2.
Yeah, I love it. I hope I can just take down Flowers. There's no one better to beat in fantasy than Flowers. So moving on to week 2 of the NFL. Listen, it's a big line. Right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, the Ravens are -11.5. The money line up is -800. There's no way the Ravens are losing this game. Now, can you bet 8-1? Probably not. It's a stupid bet, but maybe you can do the over tees like the updog does, or if you just have the nuts, I think there is a chance that they do cover the -11.5. The only thing that scares me is the Browns do have a good defense, but I just don't think Flacco can score, and I don't even think the Browns defense can slow down Lamar and Derrick Henry. I think the Ravens D is going to be pissed off after what happened in Buffalo. I think the Ravens cover, boys. I do. I think the Ravens cover. And then my other one is I love the Cowboys at home against the Giants, especially if Russell Wilson is the quarterback. I get that you don't want to put Jackson Dart in there and fuck up his confidence, but I'd rather see Jameis Winston swish than Russell Wilson because he was fucking god-awful against the Commanders. I like the boys at home covering the 4.5 as well.
Yeah, Jameis Winston, listen, I mean, aside from stealing crab legs years ago, he's been a solid backup, at least a grade 1B quarterback, and Russell Wilson looks shaky. I don't think on the road, though, you want to put in Jackson Dart, so I think you probably stick with Russell Wilson, the born-again virgin. I don't think you're going to make that change unless it's at home, right? So we'll see how that one goes. I like that pick, Obes. A game I'm looking at, though, is the Buccaneers and the Texans. The Bucs on Monday night going into Houston over to H-Town. That game on the money line, at least what I'm seeing right now, is plus 115 for Tampa Bay. I love Baker Mayfield. I think he's a dog. He's back in his home state. I just see them coming out with a win in Houston. So that's a game I'm looking at if I'm sprinkling some cash.
By the way, I'm with you, man. I love Baker Mayfield. I love that Buccaneers team. They got like he has come in there and been infectious. Is that the right word? Where like everyone just rallied around him and he can sling it, man. He's a fucking, like you said, Texas slinger, man. So I think that's a great bet too. I may have to tackle the money line with my boy Swishy.
Swishy, you're going to love this one. I'm going old school style. Packers over teaser. Packers at home. We're looking to go 2-0 tonight on Prime against the Commanders. So buy that baby down and fucking over under 43. That's going over the posted total. And then I'm looking at my Bengals. Bengals at home. They're 1-0. They had a tough match, like tough defensive match last week. So these offensive guys are going to look to get on the board. I'm going to tickle a little Bengals over teaser there too, boys. They're -3.5 at home against the Jags.
Boys, I would say these boys last year with the over teases, I must have been deleted from the team text, but they were on a heater, so I would suggest tickling that. Listen, I got a little parlay cafe for the fellas listening out there too. I'm going to go a little 4-teamer for you boys. Rams, Lions, Chiefs, Cowboys, all the money line, put in a parlay. Let's go. The only thing that worries me about the Chiefs is they had to fly back from Brazil, Swishy. Maybe they were enjoying themselves too much. I don't know,
Yeah, and I love Uppy's pick. First of all, I'm obviously a Green Bay Packer fan, but Washington hasn't gone into Green Bay and left with the win since 1988, so I like that pick. And another thing just on the Packers front, okay? Did you see the video of Micah Parsons that's resurfacing with him going toe-to-toe with a sumo wrestler? It was unbelievable. I'll send you this clip afterwards. It's two big boys in the middle of the ring trying to push each other out sumo style. He ends up going 1-1 against him, but I saw that clip this morning. I was like, oh my God, like this guy's a beast. So be looking for him to have a big game. I'm fired up. Obviously, he's a Green Bay Packer now, so it's awesome.
It's like Jerry Jones lets him go, and I see they're working out Javanian Clowney. The Cowboys are trying to work him out. It's like Major League. I'm like, well, I wish we had him 2 years ago. We did. Well, 4 years ago then. It's like, you had the best pass runner in the game in the fucking game.
Jerry.
Gerald. Jerry should just go to Cabo and fucking put his feet up and turn the keys over to someone else. Let Billy Quinn be the GM.
Just right down on a yacht. Get a bunch of babes to give you massages with oils and just enjoy it.
Another thing you guys were talking about the Cowboys documentary last episode, but I just another clip I saw on, it was Michael Irvin on All the Smoke podcast, and he was talking with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, and they were talking about celebrity crushes, and Michael Irvin was like, "Oh, I love Janet Jackson," and Matt Barnes was like, "Well, did you ever end up meeting her?" He's like, "Oh no, if I would have met Janet Jackson, there would have been another Michael Jackson." Just like playmakers all the time, man. So
Oh, he's a beauty. And I mean, when you watch that America's Gambler, America's Team, you'll have even more respect for the playmaker. Then you feel bad for him at the end, but he played hard on the field and played hard off the field. That's my kind of teammate. I like that.
Yeah.
So anyways, get some skin in the game at DraftKings, but always gamble responsibly, boys. Football is back. I love it up, dog. Get this guy a Labatt Blue.
Brought to you by Labatt. With Labatt, you can buy beer and get gear. Go to their website, snap a photo of your receipt, and upload it to gain points towards exclusive merch. Any size, any product, anywhere you're buying Labatt. Sign up at rewards.labattusa.com, fellas.
Look at all those Labatt Blues in there.
It's time.
God, those are nice.
When's Saturday around?
I can't wait to get to Buffalo and just get fucking drunk on Blue Lights with you guys.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
The real way.
Chippewa Street here.
Hey. Bulls Day, weekend. Do we know? Yeah, they got the bangies. Fuck. I'm going to be torn. I got, my fantasy is going to be fucking, I'll be counting on Jamar Chase and fucking Josh Allen.
That'll be nice for you. Because they're both going to just probably have a
sling it. Yeah.
Hey, how about this greasy moving fantasy football, though? So, Ice Pick was telling me last night that he's like, yeah, in this draft, you only can draft, 3 running backs and 2, you have to draft every position. I'm like, that's kind of greasy. Like, why is that? He's like, well, one guy every year would just draft every quarterback and then come to me and be like, all right, what do you want for him? Right. So he would take every fucking quarterback, all the good ones. And then at the end, and then he'd be like, okay, what do you want for a quarterback? And then take your fucking best player because there's no quarterbacks left. Unless
he wouldn't be able to put in a lineup at all. He wouldn't be able to put in a lineup.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he'd be losing each week and everyone would just go, well, I'll take the fucking backup. I don't know.
You can't put him in?
No, I don't think you'd be able to do that legally, and I don't think
Ice Pick
algorithm would let you.
Ice Pick, was that accurate or did I fuck that story up?
Yeah, it wasn't my league. It was J.K. Kernook's league. But yeah, I guess the guy took quarterbacks every year, like 5, 6.
So you still leave 18 quarterbacks because there's 30 teams. You pick 12 guys.
Yeah,
still leave 8, but
you don't want them. Yeah,
but still, this guy's done.
But you make a great point of you can't field a team. So you're like, I don't care, you're done. But he ruined the whole league, so they had to do that for him. So
he's a one and done guy.
He's a one and done guy
for sure.
Get this guy Labatt Blue. Shout out to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. The other night, another comeback win against the Astros in Game 1 of the series. He made an unbelievable play at first base. You guys know the extra inning rule. The runner starts on second. Ball comes to him, zips it over to Barger. And then in the bottom of the inning, hustles down the line. I've never seen Vladdy run like this. Get yourself a Labatt Blue, buddy. That's what we need from you. And my second get this guy Labatt Blue is to Glenn Healy and the NHL alumni. Great job, boys. Glenn's come in there and done unbelievable things. We don't know all the details about it, Uppy, but basically anybody that played in the NHL, you're going to get around $10,000 a year for dental, health insurance, stuff like that. And as ex-players, as all three of us agree, listen, we were all lucky to play. We all, it was a dream come true. But when you're done playing, I do feel like the NHL should have to help you out a little bit. Our teeth are banged up. Our bodies are banged up. Our beaks are banged up. It's like, help the boys out a bit. So Glenn and the alumni, thank you, fellas. Get yourself a Labatt Blue. Uppy and Swish, you guys tag this, please. Yeah. But I think it's great.
Yeah, I'd like to tag it and say that this is, this being brought up and addressed is a lot to the players, current players, actually, right? Like, so they made it an effort for, the Glenn Healys and, the Shattenkirks of the world who are now involved with the PA. They come and say, guys, help the guys that built this from the foundation up, the old players, the guys that are struggling right now, or, the guys that just need a little extra help. And this, to me, it's big on the current players. We don't quite know, and I'm going to get Chatty to come on and talk about it because I think it's excellent, but we don't quite know the details, as you said, Obes, but it is $4 million a year that I think the NHL and NHLPA are putting in as like a subsidy for relief for these guys' health insurance. So it's great.
Us guys.
And us guys. And it's good. Schmaltzy, that's your brother chipping in like that.
Yeah, thanks, boys. No escrow. You can throw it somewhere. You're only making 8 and a hook. But
Fuck no.
I wanted to ask,
Fuck,
how does it work? Do you get a stipend? Is it a yearly check? Like, how does that come over? Is it just coverage? You can use it how you want.
That's all great points. And Uppy makes a good point. I'd love to have Shaddy on and talk about it. I'm not sure, Swishy, to answer your question. Just
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a fair question. Like for me, I just wanted to cover my teeth and maybe a nose job. Does it just like a check for 10 grand? I'll take care of the rest. Or
that's what I mean. Like, is it just a check you get and you could go throw it on red, or do you have to show proof of? Because obviously you're going to use it for coverage, but I'm just saying, 10 grand, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm curious how it works.
Either way, I think it's a win for the Players Association, for the alumni, and for guys like us. So thank you to Glenn and all those boys for your hard work. And thank you to the current players and the NHL. I'm always hard on Bettman and the boys, but thank you to those boys. You got to take care of your ex-players, man. It's when you retire, as we all know, you got a lot of life left, right? You're like, holy fuck, a lot of runway left here, God willing. So good for those boys. You guys want to dish any more blue lights? Switch, you got anyone you want to dish?
Yeah, I got one. I just got one for Krill Kaprizov. I mean, turning down $128 million. That's the rumor out there. Is $16 million per year was offered. That's what I had it pegged at. But I texted my brother yesterday. Just sent a screenshot of, I don't know who it was. It was one of the insiders. It wasn't the Peoples, but they threw out a tweet saying that Kaprizov had turned down 8 times 16, and his response was, "That's fucking nails." You know what I mean? Like to have the balls and stones to turn down $128 million. So what is he gonna do? Like, if 128 doesn't keep you in Minnesota, is 135 keeping you there? I would say probably not. So we'll see what happens with Kaprizov. Listen, he could end up re-signing there, but I just thought, get this guy a Labatt blue. If you're turning down 128 sheets, you're doing something right in life.
Yeah, no kidding. I had him as my dog of the week, so we'll tag it together. Get him a Labatt blue, and he's my dog of the week. Listen, Billy Guerin did come out with a comment saying this is not true. Who knows, right? Billy's got to protect himself.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bad rumor.
Swishy made a great point on our show Wednesday about how Leopold's the owner, right? He came out and said Kaprizov's going to be the highest paid winger, highest paid player. Like, they clearly want to pay him. If this is accurate, this to me means that he doesn't want to stay.
Yeah, I'd trade him now.
Yeah, I mean, they backed up the Brinks truck for him. They gave him keys to the city. Now, listen, I think where a great fit would he be if he does leave is Philadelphia. With Rick Tocchet, Jonesy, DB, they got Michkov there. They got cap room. You bring him in to play with the young Russian. I just think that would be a great fit for Krill. But who knows? Maybe he wants to go play in South Beach or out here now. But to me, Swishy and Ups, you turn down 128 bananas. Good for you. That's fucking gangster. But that makes me feel like you don't want to be a Minnesota Wild.
And to me, it's just a weather thing. It's a fucking, because they got a good little team, and he's there with his boys. He's been there. So for me, it's a typical tale of the boys like the beach. And heads up, LA, well, how much room can you make?
Yeah.
Because if he can't sign him this year, you have to move him immediately and give a team an extra year with him, or the sign and trade. But similar stuff, just what's going on with Connor. It's, if you can't sign him and rumors come out that he's not taking these max deals, then it's an issue that you need to address.
And maybe he doesn't think Minnesota can ever win a Stanley Cup with the guys they got here. I got their team pulled up here. Vladdy got another deal, eh? Vladimir Tarasenko's in Mini. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
So, but maybe he thinks Swishy that, and this is I love Billy G, and I do like their hockey club, but if you're Krill Kaprizov, you're also thinking, I want to win a Stanley Cup. Maybe he doesn't believe the Wild can get over the hump.
Yeah, and if you're an elite player like Kaprizov, and you're looking at who you've had the most chemistry with over the years, that's Matt Zuccarello. Matt Zuccarello, I believe, is a 1988 born player, so he's playing with Father Time. He's definitely, on the back nine. So if he's looking at just who am I going to play with, how does it look for not this year only, the next 2, but the following 6, 7, 8 years after that? I just think he's probably a little hesitant and gun shy right now. I mean, you got to be if you're turning down 128. And I just want to say, Billy Guerin didn't confirm or deny the actual numbers. He just was basically saying he didn't know where that information came from. It wasn't from the agent side. It wasn't from him, but it was leaked. So he didn't confirm or deny it. I think that I would still say that offer is probably legit from at least everything I've gathered.
I hate these people that are leaking shit too. I just see Mike Vrabel, who's the coach of the Pats. I love this fucking guy. I'd love to get drunk with him. He's just a fucking beauty, old school. And there's these rumors coming about Stephon Diggs, and he's like, you know what? I'd like to find these rats.
Yeah.
I'd like to find out who these rats are that are like, if you're working for an organization or you're in it, shut the fuck up.
Totally.
Don't be fucking tipping off Elliot Friedman and all these guys. Shut your mouth. Loose lip, sick ship. They're trying to re-sign this guy. Don't stir the pot. I think you got to keep that in house.
Maybe it's put out there as a tactic to negotiate with him.
Maybe.
You never know.
Maybe.
Man, a lot of times those guys have players inside the room that they'll go to.
That if a fucking guy inside the room is tipping those boys off,
Players don't even know this shit.
I'm practice fighting them the next training camp, first fucking inter squad game. You can't be.
A player doesn't know that he turned down.
You got to keep that shit in your girl.
There's no way fucking Kaprizov's coming in and going, the number's 128 now, boys.
Well, I would have told you that. Like, let's say me and you were playing together. I would have told you, like, hey, Ups, they're offering me. Fuck, I'm about to turn down 128. But what do you think, everyone? I would have told you.
But I'm not going and telling.
No, I know you're not, but maybe.
I'm not telling the next guy.
No, but maybe, let's go back to their team. I don't know these guys. Maybe.
Who's the rat?
Who's the fucking rat?
Who's the fucking rat?
I don't think they have a rat. They got a good team.
Get this rat a beer.
Yeah, I get this rat a beer. Anyway, Swishy, I love it, man. To KK97, dude, gangster move. I can't believe I turning down that much money is crazy. So moving on here at Missin Curfew, it's rumor mill time, boys. It's that time of the year, right before training camp. We talked about McDavid and Edmonton earlier in the week. I always like the saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's some rumors around Sid again. I know we've been talking about it for the last 2 years. Pittsburgh Penguins are not a playoff team. He grew up a Montreal Canadiens fan from Nova Scotia, as we all know. Listen, I love their head coach. Marty St. Louis is one of my favorite teammates. You got to think him and Sid are good buddies. There's some rumors that, imagine Sydney Crosby playing for the Montreal Canadiens. That'd be sick.
It would be sick.
That would be sick. That would be unreal. Like, every night he comes into the Bell Center, there's, 21,000 people. Here comes Sid. It's just like,
how many more years has he got?
He's 38 years old on his contract.
But he's probably could play 3 more years solid, right?
I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
At least.
Swishy says he's getting 100 points.
On the right team, I don't.
It's a lukewarm. What did you say? That was hilarious. It's
a room temperature take. I think if he ends up getting out of Pittsburgh and he goes and plays in Colorado or Montreal, like plays with some legit wingers, yeah, he's a 100-point guy. I think he's got one more season in him.
Crosby's got 2 years left at 8.7 this year and next.
What if he goes Chicago and then McCarr and McDavid both go there too?
And now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking, huh?
Now we're cooking, fella.
Hey, you got a nice little squad there. Bedard, just fucking get open, kid.
Right?
I mean,
I don't think he wants to go play in Colorado I don't think he wants that. Do you? I had no idea.
We're going to have a good idea about that after this Olympics and see like how that chemistry is up there. I don't think he gets moved before the Olympics. Do you, Sid? He's going to get moved eventually.
I don't know, but I was wrong. McCarr's got 2 years left. I keep saying he's a free agent. Fucking do your research, Opes. He's got 2 years left on that.
Let's cut that.
No. No, I've been saying it for I've been telling everyone at Big Canyon. I thought he was a free agent. Listen, I don't know what it's like to play for one organization. I was the suitcase, and I'm sure. But even if he leaves Swishy, he's always going to be Sidney Crosby of the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's going to be a statue. His jersey's going to be retired. If you grew up a Montreal Canadiens fan, like I'm a Leaf fan, you were a fucking Oilers fan growing up, that would be unbelievable for him to go to play for Montreal, an up-and-coming team that he could come in there and be maybe the reason that gets him over the hump, Swishy.
Yeah, and I think this is a guy he's so routine-driven. He's so superstitious. He's never taken more than 3 days off the sheet. Like, he has his whole thing and his whole life in Pittsburgh. So I just think for him to actually move on, I agree with Uppy. It's going to be probably, if it happens, after the Olympic break around the trade deadline, and Pittsburgh's going to have to be terrible. Like, they're going to have to give Sidney Crosby every basically answer to get out of town in terms of just finding a new home, because there's no future in Pittsburgh and there's no movement with, management and Kyle Dubas. I think it's going to have to they're going to have to really be a bottom feeder team for Sid to want to move. I really do.
Yeah. And I talk about how, I think McDavid leaving, Edmonton and going to New York or Chicago, some big market in the States. I think Sidney Crosby going to Montreal for hockey would be unbelievable, especially in Canada, but even everywhere. I just think him playing in a hockey hotbed like that, on a good team, tons of coverage, it would be fun.
What gets the deal done? Cole Caulfield? Because
Dubas does love the small skill.
That little Russian's too good. I don't think he'd get rid of it.
Yeah.
I saw the boys on Overdrive talking about Dendenov. Is that how you say his name?
Demonov.
Dog's such a beauty. He's like, guys played 10 fucking games. Yeah, I'd trade him for Crosby. We're talking about Crosby. This kid's played 10 games. Noodle said he wouldn't do it. I would trade. I think Dendenov's going to be nasty. He is nasty, but I would trade him straight up for Sid.
They got some young defensive prospects too. A kid I played with, David Reinbacher in Cloten, Switzerland. He was their 5th overall pick 2 years ago. Now that they just brought in Noah Dobson, it makes him maybe a little bit more available on the right side. So maybe you could throw something with there. Can you get Patty Lane off the team too? Can you get him off the books? Can you just give away
too, and he can help you on your power play in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Listen, if you brought in Crosby, you would go Crosby, Suzuki, Kirby Doc, Newhook, and then they still have that Jake Evans, who's a good 4th-line center. Would you give up Slokowski?
Wow, they got Slokowski too. So they got him.
Fulfill's not going anywhere.
You think he's the lock that stays? Or, yeah.
I think so. He's only making.
I would say if Dubas presented this to Crosby like next week, it would actually make Sid think like, wow, there's a chance to go play for, probably the team he grew up loving. And yeah, that would be an interesting conversation. If you went to him next week and said, hey, there's a deal to Colorado, will you take it? I bet he's like, no. But if it's Montreal and like a legit, he would probably think of it, especially after seeing their lineup up there, the Pittsburgh Penguins lineup. It's not perfect.
We need Sidney Crosby back in the playoffs, too. Yeah. That's the thing to me. So, anyways, we'll see what happens. I can't wait to watch Montreal. You talk about Montreal, Swishy. They could have the best back end in the Eastern Conference. Their back end is fucking solid, man. Like, really solid with bringing in Dobson. I love their back end. It's right up there, in my opinion, as one of the best in the Eastern Conference.
So you're going to go Hudson, Dobson, and then you have, who do you got? Gooley, solid. Is Mike Matheson? He's still
Carey, and then you got, for me, Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is my number 6. Jack guy.
Wi-Fi is your number 6. And like I said, that Reinbacher, he's going to challenge for a spot. He's a 6'5" defenseman, rangy, good stick, make a good first pass. So that's another guy that, he might start the year in the Volobes and play 10, 15 games if he doesn't make the team out of camp. But he's a guy that you could insert maybe even to your top 4 later in the season. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's a guy, his trajectory and his ceiling is really high.
He's knocking on the door.
Oh, he's knocking on heaven's door, baby.
He's got guys looking over the shoulder like, who the fuck is this guy?
He's kind of similar to like a Parayko. Not as big and not as physically gifted, but the way he skates, the way he defends lines, and he's got some offensive flair.
Is he as big as Parayko?
Not as big, but he's 6'4", 6'5". He's a shade under. He's not built like Ivan Drogba per se, but he's lengthy. You know what I mean? He's strong.
Where's he from? Austria?
Yeah, but he's got a Swiss pass.
Wow.
So yeah, he's a solid defenseman. He was that year I was in Switzerland. I was hurt, but I watched this kid. And he was projected like 2nd, 3rd round. I'm looking around. I'm like, if there's 40 other defensemen, they're going to take over this kid. Like, who's smoking crack? And then he just shot up the rankings, and he ended up being the 5th overall pick. They have high hopes for him there in Montreal for sure.
Yeah. So they got a young guy pushing. Listen, I like this hockey club. They got their goaltenders. And if you just added 87 to the mix, wow,
that's interesting.
That'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. Last but not least here, before we get to our guest, it is the Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week, presented by Kits. Boys, you know right now, promo code Curfew gets you your first pair of prescription glasses free and $38 off any progressive lenses. Go to kits.com, virtually try them on, pick them out, fire in your prescription, promo code Curfew, knock on the door, Kits Eyewear, boys. Get in the game. Obviously, we got no hockey, so we're going to the gridiron, boys. J.J. McCarthy of the University of Michigan, hurt last year, comes in. He's absolutely shit in the bed in the first half, and he comes out in the second half and absolutely has a second half for the Minnesota Vikings. Watch this tape-to-tape missile to Justin Jefferson. Zing, booyah. That is our Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week, and this is a nice celly here. What's this called? The Giddy?
The Gritty?
What's that called?
The Gritty?
The Gritty.
I don't have the feed right now, but I think it was the Gritty, right?
Yeah, he did the Gritty. Watch this pass. This is tape to tape. Zing.
God, that opened up nice. That's like
Jefferson, he's so sick.
It's opening up.
That was on the tape.
So promised land right there.
That is the Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week, boys. Listen, we got Stanley Cup champion, all-around good guy, Milan Lucic, the big Luch, coming up next here at Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Updog, Swishy, friend of the show.
And first guest of the year.
First guest of the year. Yeah. That's fucking guy you didn't want to fuck around with. I'll tell you that. Hey, didn't even fuck around. Hey, careful what you wish for. Boys, he's back. Hey, the fucking big man's back. Stanley Cup champion, all around good guy. Milan Lucic, Big Luch. Thanks for joining us, buddy. We appreciate you taking the time. I know you're getting geared up for camp, my man.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me back on the show. It's good to be back for sure.
Hey, Big Luch, where did you spend your off season this year? Were you out here in California or back in British Columbia? Where did you spend most of your time this off season, buddy?
I was mostly in LA. I was mostly there in California, just just doing stuff with the family and kids, and working out with Chad Morrow, who worked out with the past, and just kept myself in shape and everything like that. So just was mostly in California there, and then spent a little bit of time in Vancouver, and then just been here in St. Louis for almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah, I want to start there with your body. How's the body feeling, Luch? And obviously, nobody wants to take a year off away from hockey, but you did. Could it be a blessing in disguise? How do you feel after not playing for a year? I've watched you train in the off season. I had an itch that you were trying to make a comeback because you were in such good shape and working so hard. But how does the body feel after taking a year off and not playing?
It actually it feels pretty good, to be honest. When your body doesn't go through the grind of 82 game season, and for me, I think I average like 200 hits a year or something like that. So just not having all that, and just the battles in the corners, and just the daily grind of being an NHL player. It's kind of nice, I guess, for the body to take a break and just recover and get just back in the gym and just work on building it back up. It was kind of nice, but it'll be interesting to see when you do get back into that grind, because when you take some time off, you don't realize how hard it is. I'm sure you guys all know too. When you're out of it, you're just like, wow, like you don't wake up when your body just hurts every day, and it is a nice feeling. But to get back into it, it'll be interesting to see what it's like. But I've always done a pretty good job taking care of myself, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's your main goal when you retire, is just to wake up not sore.
Yeah.
Right? So how can I wake up not being sore?
It's a success story if that's the case.
Right? Just
you did something right.
Yeah. It's
You
funny.
didn't play hard enough, but
Yeah, it's funny going back to near my career. I remember caught. I was dating this girl in West Hollywood. My agent called me. He's like, "Hey, they got an offer free in Finland." I'm like, I'd really like to take the year off here, caught, and regroup, and come back next year. And really, I think if I have a full year off and a full summer of training, my body rests up. And he's like, "Yeah, well, that's a good idea. But if you don't take this deal, I don't know what to tell you. It's pretty much over." I was like, "All right." Put my fat ass on a plane to Finland. But
Luch knows caught. Luch, from your time growing up and being a pro and training like you did before, like what's some of the, and Morrow's a beauty, by the way. Morrow's been working out with guys up there in LA for forever, since I was, a rookie in the league. He's been tip-top trainer up in LA. But what's some of the things you might do yourself differently now? Like, is it yoga, Pilates, to what like the young Lucic was doing to stay kind of fast and in the game? Like, is it more beach volleyball? Or is it just like the stretching and working on the foot speed? Is there anything different that you look to now?
Well, I think what's changed, it's not like just lifting heavy. I mean, I feel you guys know in our generation it was how much can you squat, how much can you deadlift, how much can you clean, how much can you bench, and there were 3-hour workouts. But what's changed as you get older, for me, I mixed in Pilates this year, and I gotta say, whoever hasn't tried it, or anyone that is doing it, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. Yeah. Usually I can grind through anything, but Pilates, man, it's another level. It's just all those little muscles, all those muscles that are kind of sleeping, and you're just waking them up. I mean, that's a soreness that I haven't felt in a long, long time battling through Pilates. But for the most part, I just try to keep it the same as far as just trying to stay explosive. And, I don't lift heavy anymore, but, everything's kind of changed. A lot of guys aren't putting weight on their back much anymore. It's mostly, trap bar deadlifts and free weights, with dumbbells and stuff like that. But so I do what I can to stay strong, but it's mostly just staying explosive, keeping my speed up, and stuff like that. Not only that, up here, I know you went and worked out with him for a little bit. I worked out with Ian Gallagher, Brendan Gallagher's dad. I've been working with him for 20 years. And every time I go back with him, he always does a really good job getting me ready, for the upcoming season. So I was fortunate to have some time with him before this camp, and he's always done a good job, and he's been a big part of my success throughout my career.
Those Vancouver boys work out hard up there with him. They come in shape too. Yeah,
Ready to rock.
yeah. They're just like you said. There's no 2 hour, 3 hour workouts. It's like 45 minutes, gas, puke, go on the ice, do it again.
You guys did that you guys didn't go to 14 on Sundays, did you? You guys didn't go to 14 on Sundays, did you?
Yeah, my Saturday, Sundays were early mornings, volleyball, afternoon cocktails, and I'll see you Tuesday.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Big Luch, though, Pilates, my girl loves it. She does it 6 days a week, and she got me to try it. I should have done it when I was playing, so good on you that you're still doing it when you're still playing, but it was a tough start for me. I could hardly get my fat ass in the reformer. I'm like, is this the right size?
You need.
I'm like, is there not bigger ones than this? Is a mega. Where's the big boy? Pull the big boy one out of the back here. Let's get her going. But I was sore Luch for a month after that. I'm not lying. It was crazy. So, Swishy, go ahead, fella.
Yeah, what's up, Big Luch? How you doing, man? I worked out with Chad the summer of 2018, and you were then in the gym, and obviously the Tuesday, Thursdays, I think we would do just go to the track. Is he still hitting you with like those daggers? Some days you show up and you got to run a mile. I remember a couple days we showed up on like a Monday or a Tuesday. He's like, all right, boys, got to run a mile today under 6 minutes. I'm like, fucking hey, all right. So we try it. You would be leading the way. Your big frame, you'd somehow finish first. And then the other one I remember was the running course, just kind of south of Hermosa. That was a bagger too. So I wanted to ask you, are you still doing that kind of stuff, the cardiovascular training? Because some of this shit it would break me some days, man.
You know what? I do remember that, and when he would mix in we're just gonna run a mile today. Yeah, it was crazy. And yeah, he did use this Palos Verdes course. I remember the one you were talking about. It was one of those obstacle courses where they had like a chin up station, and then like a dip station, and all that fun stuff in it. And yeah, that was really hard because it was up and down and up and down. But to be honest, I didn't do any dryland training with him this summer. He has a salt bike now, so we did most of our stuff on the salt bike, which is it doesn't make things easier. It's that thing's a grind. I think if anything, the closest thing to being on the ice for me is the assault bike, and he put me through some deadly workouts on the assault bike. So mainly that, and I don't know if you remember too, the rower. Yeah, he had us doing 1K on the rower as fast as you can. You just be lightheaded for half an hour after that, and then he throws you into the squat rack doing the triphasic loading, which was you remember the ISOs, the ISOs and all that type of stuff. And it was just it is a grind, but it's great with him. He makes you work hard, and you get good results. But you get in what you put out, and he's still doing his thing. And what's great about him too is he's got the physiotherapy going on there at Back to Function. So if you need a little neck crack or to get worked on, he's there for you as well.
Yeah, Obes, I just remember like some days we would go in there, and I was working out with some of the younger Kings guys like Paul Ledoux and Forby would stop in from time to time. But Obes, this guy, you would get there like on a Monday, and you're kind of licking your wounds, whatever it was, maybe a long weekend, and he'd be like, "All right, Swish, 3-minute side plank to start." I'm just like, 3 minutes side. Oh yeah, and he'd break me a minute and right those. Oh yeah, it was nuts. It was the hardest workouts I've ever done. But I mean, that year going into camp, I felt unbelievable. Like I was ready for the battle because he was kind of instilling it throughout the summer with you. So that's what I remember, though. The 3-minute side planks to start us off. I'd be like, Jesus,
that's a tough way.
And you're not just side planking. He's like, okay, arm up. All right, now like, well, yeah, like he's got you moving on the 3 minutes too. So it's not just like a regular 3 minute side plank.
They used to try to get me to get the arm up. I'm like, it's not going to happen, boys. All right? Stuck the fucking clock. The arm's not going up, boys. I don't know what to tell you. That assault bike should be outlawed in the CBA. They should get that thing fucking out of here.
The only good thing about that thing, though, boys,
There's nothing good
is you
about it.
don't have to do it for that long. Like max is like 5 minutes and you're fucking toast. So, you know, like a treadmill, you got to run and run and run. That's assault bike will get you and see you later. Put it down.
In Calgary, I was just a healthy scratch all the time, and Bob Hartley just salt in the wound. Get on the assault bike after you get bagged. You're like, Jesus Christ, are you kidding me here? Like, you just rinsed
Yeah,
an
that was-
hour.
Didn't he get you guys, if you had a lower body injury, it was always the arm bike. Yeah, that thing's still there. It's still there.
Hoodsy tried to pull a groin in training camp. You're Hoodsy's like, I know my groin. Hey, I'm going to show him. Coming the next day, there's Hoodsy on the fucking. I'm like, Hoodsy, this is crazy, huh? Yeah. Big Luch, I wanted to ask you, buddy, like, you know, we talked about, you know, how good it is for your body not to be playing 82 games and running around like you do, but what did you miss most about not being out there with the boys? And what are you most excited about to have an opportunity to get back to where you belong in the NHL, and just missing a year? What are you like, fuck, I really missed that, or I can't wait to dive back into this and stuff like that?
Well, just first off, you know, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful that, you know, the Blues have given me this opportunity. So just want to start off by saying that, you know, just having this chance is really great for me and my family, but you know, when you're out of it, I'm sure it's the same thing you guys experience. You miss the camaraderie. You miss being a part of a team. You miss having a game plan and you know, okay, this is what we're gonna do tonight. Our goal is, you know, what you need to do to win that game. And you know, it's, as an athlete, you have that competitive nature, and just to have, you know, just to be back in the, you know, competitive, I guess, atmosphere is something that I'm looking forward to. And also, just like I said, just the camaraderie, you know, when a guy gets a bad haircut, you know, you let him know. Or if a guy's wearing you know, a tough suit and tie combo, you're just like, oh, where'd you get that? You know, or some tough shoes, or
Just in the dark today, or what? Fuck.
well, and I'm sure we'll see some stuff that, you know, with no dress code, we'll see some more stuff that we can, you know, let guys have it as far as that. But yeah, I think the main thing, like I said, is just being part of a group, and also just playing to win. I mean, even from when you're a little kid, for me, I know, if I can speak for myself, I always played to win, no matter what it was, doing what I was playing, even if it was PE class and it was a warm up on, you know, just trying to win and having that competitiveness on a day-to-day basis. And you know, just pushing your teammates, having your teammates push you. And I know I talked about it before, being in that daily grind of things is something that I miss, and I'm really looking forward to getting back to. So yeah, like I said, it's a great opportunity for me. I'm really grateful for it, and I'm gonna control what I can control and do what I can do to stick around and play for as long as I can. So yeah, and just having those things to look forward to is, you know, gives you that extra motivation. And you know, it was funny, I was talking to Brad Marchand about this when I went back to Boston, is when you get in the later part of your career, it's almost like you're a rookie again. You know, you got to do a little extra and showing a little extra to keep yourself in the lineup and keep yourself in the league. So you're always trying to prove yourself again. And, you know, that's something that I'm looking forward to as well.
Yeah, Luch, buddy, a few things pop up to my head. One is, you know, you've earned this chance. You've earned this chance for a second opportunity to come back. And just as you just said, it's almost harder as an older guy with hungrier young guys and the guys that are already set in the league. And you understand that the game, you know, whether it's unfinished business that you have or it's the love of the game that's bringing you back, you almost want to you're excited, right? Like I had that feeling on my first couple of PTOs. I was like almost excited to get to camp, where before in the middle of my career, I was almost like, oh, camp's here. Well, you're in a spot now to continue to play and to chase a cup. And two things that come to mind is, one, I was in Edmonton on a PTO, and you took me under your wing, brought me to dinner at your house with your wife and your kids, made me feel like I was part of the team. And that's sort of the things now that you're like, okay, I'm meshing into a good group of guys. Doug Armstrong's an honest GM. Steiner is there. You got Monty, who's a hell of a coach. Like, they're bringing you in for a reason, not just to fire you in on a PTO. And then two, just, you're going out there, you've earned this opportunity to go and continue on the legacy. So all the right things. You're going to go in. This team's going to love to have you. They need the toughness, and I'm proud of you, bud. It's a nice thing, and you gave to me, and this is you giving back to the league right now. So
Yeah, I remember when you came to camp, and I was excited you were there. I think Jason Garrison came with you on that PTO. Unfortunately, your PTO ended up short. You had that knee injury.
yeah.
But
Yeah, he had a good summer heading into that PTO though. Late minutes Europe trip. I'm like, fella, you think you should maybe head over to Europe right now? He's like, oh yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry.
I was in one. Fuck, I was in one.
and even before that, like in Boston in 2010, Brian McGrattan was in Boston for a PTO, and actually he was in the hotel for a little bit, and he was getting a little sick and tired of being at the hotel. And I even let him live with me for a month until they finally released him, because I think he stuck around for like the first 15, 20 games, just staying on a PTO. And then I let him live with me for that period of time. And I guess, like you said, Uppy, it was it kind of goes full circle here with how things go. And yeah, like you said, it's exciting, because when you're in the middle of your career, like you mentioned, you kind of you take the date of the first game of the season, and you kind of are like, okay, I need to be ready for October 9th or October 5th. And, I'm going to use training camp to get ready for that date. But now you got to be ready for that first day of camp. And it's a little bit of a different feeling, and something that I haven't, experienced since I was 19 years old. And so I'm really looking forward to the challenge of it, because it's got to be a challenge. Like you said, there's a ton of young, hungry guys here. They've got a good young core here, and so I got to do what I got to do to prove myself to stick around. And yeah, so it's an exciting thing, and you got to embrace the challenge, embrace the struggle, and I just got to go out there and do what I got to do.
It's a good point by you, Litch. Before I turn it over to Swishy here, like, we've all been on PTOs now, and Uppy, I went to Florida, and Uppy was nice enough to let me stay at his house, because when you've been in the league for as long as we have, or you've been in there longer than us, but going into a hotel for training camp, it makes it more difficult. So the fact that, like, we're lucky to have guys that we've played with, and that's good about hockey players. Like, hey man, you can come stay at my house for training camp. It's just those little things that go a long way, because as you're witnessing now and learning, like, it is stressful being on a PTO, and little things like that help you kind of get ready and get motivated and get focused on making the hockey club, eh, Luch?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm lucky too here. I played World Championship with Jake Neighbors, and he was nice enough to let me stay with him since I got to St. Louis. So like I said, it's just gone full circle. Like, I was a 22-year-old kid letting a older guy like Brian McGrattan stay at my place, and here I am, staying at with a 22-year-old kid, 23-year-old kid. So it's great, and also it builds camaraderie, within the guys, and you don't feel so isolated. And I bet you, Obes, like, when you're at the hotel, like, to your point, you kind of feel isolated. You're at the hotel, you're wondering, okay, what should I do today? Instead, you're with someone and hanging out. It makes you feel more comfortable, for sure.
Big Luch, I wanted to ask you, St. Louis, a team that I was drafted by, I played a little bit there, but it's a great group of guys. Obviously, the coaching staff you have familiarity with. I believe Doug Armstrong dating back to a world championship as well. I'm sure you had a few different offers to sift through in terms of where you wanted to go in on a PTO. ultimately, what led you to St. Louis? Why was it an attractive spot? And was it conversations with the coaching staff, management, current players like there? Take us through that process, man.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had a handful of places that I could have went to. Um, I think for me was more so their interest in me. I had Monty called me a few times, Army called me a couple times, and not only that, people forget Claude Julien's here, and I had him for 8 years, and and Shenner and a couple other guys reaching out, and it just seemed like they were the most interested, and I even asked a buddy who works on a different team, a couple actually, what they thought the best fit for me would be, and they all all the roads led to this being a great place for me to be. And I don't think a lot of people know this. I mean, I think you and Uppy probably know this more than anyone because you guys have played here. Is St. Louis has probably the biggest alumni in the NHL of guys who had played here that lived here. So there is, that was attractive too, in the sense of, guys love being here. Guys end up retiring here. They love where their kids go to school here. And, that was a big thing as well. So, that was the process that I went through, had a, bunch of conversations, and, I just felt it was the right fit for me to come here. And, it's great knowing these guys, but, you definitely don't want to take that for granted. You don't want to think that, oh, just because I know the coach and the assistant coach and the GM and have a previous relationship with them, that something's automatically going to happen. So you can't get complacent just because you know people. So you still have to put the work in. And I think that's a good thing to remind myself, just because you have people that want the best for you, and that you had a previous relationship doesn't automatically mean that, things are going to work out perfect for you. So you just got to make sure that you're still staying on top of yourself, that you're bringing it every day.
Yeah, I know. I thought the up dog was going to get me on Florida. That's why I went there. I thought, hey, you had Dale Toronto in his back pocket. Next thing you know, I'm in San Antonio riding the bus. I'm like, Uppy with this. This wasn't part of the plan in July.
Though that wasn't your fault. You gave it everything you had, and we chanted your name walking off the bus because we knew you shouldn't have been cut. That was fucking bullshit.
Big Luch, it's funny you say that, bro. Right when you were saying that, I wrote down the alumni of the St. Louis Blues, and I think that's huge for a guy like yourself who has won a Stanley Cup and has played the right way, and they have all those old boys that played the right way. And when I saw that you're going to St. Louis, instantly, bro, I thought that's a great fit. Monty, Army, the fans, and their captain, Braden Shen, who plays a fucking hard-nosed, will chuck him and do whatever he can. I guarantee when you have Milan Lucic on your team, a guy like Braden Shen, I mean, that's just huge for him. So I think when I looked at that too, like that's got to be good for you that you have a captain that will chuck him. But when you're on a squad, it gives him a little more room out there as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's usually how it goes, right? You just try to add a little bit of inches and a couple pounds to every player when you come on the team. And I think if you actually look at, I guess, a trend of you look at the teams that are the last four teams in the conference finals and teams that have been winning the last, I would say, 6 years, probably since St. Louis won. They're the bigger, heavier teams now. They all have bigger D. They all are, play that ground and pound in the corners, in front of the net, winning battles, and it's kind of gone back to that a little bit. And so, me coming in, if I can add like I said, a couple inches and a few pounds to everyone, it's definitely, definitely I could help. And not only that, just try to bring some leadership and experience to help with these young guys. Because if you look, they got some really great players that are under 25, and they took a really great step in the right direction last year, especially when Monty came in. And I think they might have had the best record after the Four Nations and got themselves in the playoff spot, and were a second, 1.6 seconds away of beating the President Trophy champs last year with Winnipeg. And so, they're definitely moving in the right direction. And as far as leadership goes, and we've all been a part of it. When you have a good year and you're a young guy, you're like, okay, now I can kind of spread my wings and things might get easier. But you realize, things actually get harder because you're not getting a backup goalie. You're not, teams are up and ready for you. So I think that's going to be the biggest challenge for the Blues going into this season.
Luch, I want to turn the clocks back with you here, my friend, and I want to go back to 2007, the Vancouver Giants. This is when I just learned about the menace you were going to be in the National Hockey League. As a young kid and a fan of your game and playing for the Vancouver Giants, I just remember seeing my buddy, I think, showed me at the time. I think I was playing minor hockey, AAA somewhere, and it was the shift of Milan Lucic. And I said, holy fuck. If I have to go play in the Western Hockey League, or if I see this guy down the road, he is going to decapitate me. So that is one of my favorite clips still, 17 years later, Luch. You running around in the Memorial Cup, just taking heads off, providing the physical element. Do you still get questioned about that? Because that is a legendary YouTube clip, man. It's one of the OGs.
I wouldn't say I get a lot of questions about it, but I do see people posting it still to this day. And to be honest, if that shift doesn't happen in that big of a game, who knows if I, even make the Bruins as a 19-year-old. I think that, kind of propelled me into having an early start into the NHL. And I mean, you look at that shit, it was just perfect timing. I mean, I get off the bench, I get on the forecheck, and, guy comes out, boom, make a hit, get back. Guy has the puck again in the neutral zone, make a hit. It was funny talking to Wasey Rabbit about it. He goes, if I shot the puck and didn't try to make the pass where it ended up in the corner, then that hit wouldn't have been available. So, like I said, it was perfect timing. And then, fighting Benfeld right at the end of it to top it off, kind of just, was the icing on the cake for what that shift was. But it was great. I mean, in the old Coliseum, there was 16,000 people fans there for that game. It was a huge deal in Vancouver, and me being a Vancouver kid, in that tournament, it definitely is, I would say, top 5, maybe even top 3, things in my hockey career. And yeah, just the fact that it happened the way that it did in the game, that it happened in a final, in a big moment. We were on Sportsnet. It just made it that much better. And yeah, it's, sometimes I still go back to it. I watch it before games once in a while just to get me fired up, you just need a little extra motivation. And something that I'm definitely still proud of. And it's pretty cool that gets talked about still.
Pacific Coliseum.
Yeah.
That was a fucking.
We used to have that practice sometimes in there with the Canucks, dress and drive from GM Place, fucking out Hastings Street. Oh, Christ. Fucking.
There we go. Let me ask you this. I often I have dreams still playing in the league and what I do if I ever got back out there type thing.
They're
right?
fucking nightmares. I turned into a nightmare.
Is there listen, it's been a year, but is there a team or is there a guy that you felt like you need one more lick on when you get back out there that you're looking forward to? Like, I can only think, someone might have stuck you there the last time you played and you're just looking to get back out there. But is there a team or someone that you're like, boys, if I get back,
I remember when you slashed me in the legs up.
heads up.
Not really, to be perfectly honest. I wish I had an answer for you. I wish I had an exciting answer for you right now, but I mean, you know how it is. You always get juiced up when you play your former teams.
Yep.
And you always get juiced up too when you play in your hometown. So those ones, kind of fire you up. I'm sure this is going to make the presses, but I remember the guy, how long ago was it? I think it was last summer. Someone asked Rempe what his dream fight would be. So, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I mean, other than that, there's not really a guy or a team that I'm looking to stick it to or anything like that. Obviously I had, I had a great rivalry with Bruins Montreal, so I love playing in there just because of that history. But at the end of the day, it's just just happy to be competing again, and that's the main thing that I'm looking forward to.
I said to Big Rempy on X, I said, careful what you wish for, fella. Yeah, careful what you wish for, big boy. Hey, careful what you wish for here. Luch, a couple more, buddy. I know you got to run. I appreciate you taking the time. Not to turn it back to me again, but when I went on my PTO with Uppy, I went in there ready to go, hungry, and I was playing physical, and I ran over this young kid, Rocco Gabaldi, and Gerard Glant went to Uppy. He was like, hey, go tell Obi to, take it easy on her. We're all on the same team here. And I said, Uppy, you go tell him to give me a one-way. I won't even touch anyone the rest of fucking training camp. I won't even go on the ice if they don't want me to. But Luch, have you thought about how it's going to be? Because you are a great teammate, and you want to be a St. Louis Blue, and you're going to be. But at the same time, you're coming in there to make a hockey club. I know there's exhibition games, but inter-squad, have you thought about how you're going to play, and are you just going to go back to your normal instincts? Because it was something I had to deal with on a PTO. You want to be a good guy, but I'm trying to make a hockey club too.
Yeah, so there's a balance, right?
Yeah.
There's definitely a balance. So you got to do what you got to do to stand out. You got to do what you got to do to make a team, and if you got to run someone over, you got to run someone over. That's just it's kind of that kill or be killed mentality, right? You gotta show that you want to be there and you want to stay there. And like I said earlier, it's kind of like I'm a 19-year-old again, and that's what I was doing, right? I hit the older guys, the older D-man, that I think I remember that camp. I took a big run at Aaron Ward, and he was the 3-time Cup champ, and it's almost like you're not supposed to hit that guy, but in your head you're like, fuck it, I got to do what I got to do to stick around here. And I think I've talked about this before. I mean, what was it? I think I fought 7 times in my first 15 games just to stick around. And it wasn't until my last year with Claude, it was my 8th year with him. He even said to me, he goes, if you didn't do that, we wouldn't have kept you. So to your point, you have to do what you have to do to make a team. But now, things have changed. It's only 3 days of camp now, and you're right into preseason games. And I think that's kind of a good thing. So
Yeah.
instead of kicking the shit out of each other, go kick the shit out of someone else on another team.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's true.
And I think that's why they have preseason so quick now and camp is so short. So, and I'm sure I'll get my opportunities to play a bunch of games here. So just more so saving it for that. But,
Yeah.
the thing for me was, and I learned this real early, playing for Don Hay, Vancouver Giants, that we always had, it was always competitive in practice. It was always competitive in camp. And then when I was on the Bruins, those teams, that I was on, it was competitive and there was healthy competition, when we would do 5-on-5 drills, it was, our line with Krejci and versus Bergey's line. And we try to be better than one another. And, I think that pushes guys to be their best. And when you get under, sometimes you get under your teammates' skins, you bring out the best of them and it brings out the best in you. And having that healthy competition within is an important thing to have. And I think for not just for hockey, for all the teams, when you have that, that's what builds really good teams and championship teams. So, that's something that I'm going to have to do and have to bring. I mean, I'm not going to run anyone over. I don't think I have to prove that at this point in my career, but I definitely have to prove that I'm still willing to get in there, win battles and, maybe reverse shoulder or get a, use my weight and my heaviness in the corners in front of the net. I definitely have to show that. It's not about running anyone over anymore, but you got to build that healthy competition and competitiveness within the team. And I think that starts in the first day of camp.
100%. It's so true. Sorry, it's so true. But like the best team I played on, the Vancouver Canucks, we practiced hard. Our training camps were hard. Like you fucking push each other.
And now that hard practice is like holding on to the puck and talking, quick feet out of the corner and making little plays and
taking to the blue paint.
That's the way the game is now. So that at Luch, as much as you got to be physical. They're just going to want to be like, hey, this game's fast now. Is Luch going to be able to continue to be Luch out there? And you're going to go out there and prove that you still can. Like that's the game now. And you can control the game by your body and fucking protecting pucks and creating space for other guys. And they're just going to say, all right, Luch is Luch. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
So that's what you got to look forward to. I'm excited for you, buddy. I think that's fucking,
just go to the net, eh?
Absolutely.
Just go to the net. They can't cross check you anymore. Just go.
A couple off the ship pad. That's what I need to do to get it going.
The goal you get when you come back is going to feel nice, buddy, in that first fight. So fucking, we wish you the best and stay healthy and go get him, fella.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, we're pulling for you, buddy. Go out there, enjoy every second of it. As guys that we played against you, now we're done. We're happy you got a second chance. You deserve it. And go get her, buddy.
All right, thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Welcome back to Missin Curfew, up dog. Thanks to Swishy. He had to bounce over to Home by 3. That guy, hardest working guy in podcast, YouTube, social media, merchandise. But thank you to Milan Lucic, the big Luch, who we've got to know. Obviously, we both played against him. He's a scary man to play against. He spends his time out here in California. We've got to know him. Happy he's getting a second chance. Going back to your old stomping grounds, I think it's a great fit. He's in a great headspace, looks good, ready to rock. And if I'm other teams in the NHL, be ready. Yeah, big Luch is back.
No, I think the St. Louis Blues are addressing an issue. Like they could have used this guy against the Winnipeg Jets last year. There's no question that he would have been able to help them get over the finish line of a Game 7 heartbreaker, and just by his physical play and his presence in the room. So I'm pumped for him. I know Armstrong's a guy of second chances, and giving a guy, hey, you're in shape, you're still in the NHL, or you're actually a legend, Stanley Cup champ. Who doesn't need a Stanley Cup champ in your room? So I'm proud of him, and I just wanted to just to note today's 9/11. So 24 years ago, we're remembering what today means in the USA down here. So we're thinking about everyone that was ever affected by that. But
yeah, well done. Never forget you. I remember where I was playing junior hockey in Kingston, and I woke up for I don't know. I don't even know if I was going to school. Maybe late for school and the first plane hit the building. I'm like, wow, what's the chances of that? And then
I was in Canelo, same thing, bud. Same thing. Waking up in the morning from a text from a billet mom who was at work going, fuck, turn on the TV and
craziness. Yeah. Matt Kell was walking to work.
Yeah.
He was there. Crazy. So yeah, never forget. Updog, thank you again to Big Luch, Swishy, Hall Pass Media, the Missin Curfew production team, Max, the Ice Pick Pickup, Kyle, Casey, Conway. That was Missin Curfew, fellas.